let me introduce you to an architect for tomorrow at an organization that's building a future, a full future for life on Earth and beyond. Welcome to LP Vision, Jim Rhoné.
Hello, Kristen, hello, Rim.
Jim, it's great to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the VP of Product at Interstellar Labs. We have the mission of preserving life on Earth whilst helping it expand into space. Can you tell us, please, what is Interstellar Labs and a little bit more about your mission and what you're building?
Yeah, absolutely. So Interstellar Lab is a company that's been founded in 2019 by our founder, Barbara Belvisi. And the goal from the start is to deploy life on Earth and in space. And for that, we build what we call the biopods, that are structures with different form factors that are able to, to recreate ideal conditions for plants to thrive. That can have like different applications such as food production, science for sure, biodiversity protection. So you need to picture is that as big greenhouses that run autonomously. And the main point about this is the idea of the closed loop. So everything is closed loop, recycled, no waste, very efficient. So that's what we do.
Okay, so you have these biopods. Now, as an architect, and you're a true architect and an architect for tomorrow, can you tell us how, with Barbara and the team, you've taken this from an idea, from this vision, to the reality that you're working with today?
Yeah, it's super interesting because the project from the start is essentially a kid's dream. When Barbara started to work on the project, she was back at NASA at this time and starting to picture how we could bring life in space. And the whole idea from that has been taken back on Earth and see how we could, use space tech and all the ideas, the concept about the logic of the system inside and everything, and the closed loop being the main one, and how to apply that on Earth to provide better conditions for plants to grow. So Interstellar Lab, it's a very diverse company made of designers, engineers, agronomists, software developers that together work on product development that have, again, very different form factors, some being made for Earth applications, some dedicated to space, but all with the common goal of recreating the possibilities for plants to grow in ideal conditions in these biodomes that we call biopods.
Okay. How big are these biodomes, Jim, just so that we can get an idea of them in our head?
Yeah, so the first biopod we delivered last year is 12 meters long, 6 meters wide, and 6 meters tall. So it's like a decent greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially made for R&D and small-scale production. Idea from that is to develop a wide diversity of products, being smaller units that could be used for R&D programs that we run internally. It can turn into payloads that we're gonna send into space station or really soon on the moon. So it can take essentially very diverse form, but with the same core idea of recreating these ideal conditions with a very efficient system.
Fantastic. So in fact, taking this technology that may have been used in space or has grown here on Earth and putting these two together, what has been the greatest breakthrough for you on this journey that you've been on so far in creating these biopods?
Well, my background is architecture, and I quitted the construction industry a few years ago, especially because that project was bridging a lot of different fields. The main one being agronomy and plant science. And I think that's where the whole magic about what we do stands is understanding the living to make our products possible. Biopods are not just just a tech put on the ground and that like this. It's essentially a living machine, right? So in order to get your product working properly, you really need to get to the core basics, which is understanding the living, how plants grow, what you need to provide them, and all the environment that's required around to make this happen. So I think that's what everything's passionate about in the company, and that's what we are pushing for during the coming years.
And what has been your most proudest moment so far in this journey?
Well, I guess it was the delivery of our first product, Biopod, that we delivered last September. And well, it was we went super fast from design to production, and the main pride for the whole company was to see this product on site, fully operational and able to run exactly what we intended for, meaning to have plants thriving inside this biodome.
Certainly seeing that for the first time must have been an amazing moment for you and your team. But this journey that you've been on, it's not easy taking these things from vision to reality. What is it that you've learned most on this journey, and what is it that keeps you motivated to keep going?
It is very complex. When you start bridging hardware, software with the living, it's even the understanding of what lies behind is so important, and it takes you to very deep topics. Being on the surface doesn't work for this kind of project. You need to deep dive into the core understanding of everything. That's been the most challenging. The main learning for sure for the whole team is humility. We have very good designers, engineers, agronomists, but making that a consistent product able to run with very much efficiency, reducing and trying to solve current problems that we have on Earth is really teaches you humility. For sure, failure, iteration, and that current loop, being able to fail and accept failure is super important.
That's fantastic advice for all of our architects out there. Yeah, humility and being able to accept failure, definitely. What is it that you're building at the moment then, Jim? So you mentioned that with Barbara and the team, you've taken this vision and you now have your biopods. What is it you're working on and building right now?
So biopod we have currently on site is in our facility was an operational and very functional prototype. The main challenge for this year is we're getting on the market. So basically we have to deliver these biopods to our customers, being able to industrialize. That's the main challenge for the year. So currently the whole team is working on the second iteration of our product, so that we're gonna deliver by the end of the year in the south of France. And parallel to this, we're engaging a lot of projects on the space application. So it's essentially for now payloads that we're gonna send this space station to study how plants can grow in space, which is a very important topic for the future of space exploration. Another project, super exciting, that with a mission name called Little Prince, is going to be sending a payload on the moon. So we locked the payload inside a rover from Astrolab Venturi, and that's going to be deploying our payload on the moon and see how plants can grow there. So super excited.
That's super exciting indeed. And thank you for telling us about that. We can't wait to follow what you and the team are up to. So seeing how we can indeed make plants and life thrive here on Earth, in space, on the space station and in the moon. You and the team truly are architects for tomorrow. Thank you so much for being with us, Jim. It's been great and an inspiration to have you with us, especially for all of our intergalactic audience. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.